Why do I not see a single Indian model on Opali?
Opali is one of the newer brands that has been found guilty of stealing South Asian culture.
A lot of the women, the white women that I see wearing these dresses with scarves from Princess Polly and Oh Polly and Pepper Mayo, maybe it's because those girls continue to perpetuate that type of racism because I see them in the comments. They're only responding to the white girls who are asking, oh my god, this is so pretty, where did you get the dress from? Every single comment by South Asian ignored because they don't care. They don't care that they're being racist.
Yikes, we messed up bad. And when culture is involved, accountability has to come first because fashion does not exist in a vacuum, and neither does influence. When cultural attire is referenced without acknowledgement, audiences notice, and we heard you. Opali is part of an industry that's built on visuals. It's foundational, and it's our main communication tool. With that in mind, we should have done better. Accountability is more than just appearance. It's about truly taking ownership of your faults and giving credit where credit is due, and also be willing to move differently going forward. So now we're going to tell the story of our clothing the right way, the way we should have done it the first time. I'm Pree Nayak, and this is Beyond the Garment with Opali.
My name is Claire Henderson and I'm one of the founders of Opoli.
I first visited Cambodia back in 2008. A lot of the living situations were quite honestly so tragic. I just knew that I had to do something more and I had to in some way, even if it was in a small way, help.
At its core, this brand was created with the intention of doing more than just selling clothes. It was built around the idea that fashion can also create impact and support communities that can often be overlooked, especially in places that manufacture products for the West. That impact matters because if this brand is going to speak about purpose, care, and global community, then those same values have to show up in the way that we tell our stories too. And that means making room for the voices, cultures, and creatives that reflect not only our company, but the pieces we feature. South Asia and Southeast Asia have long shaped fashion, beauty, and design, even when they have not always been given the visibility they deserve. South Asian fashion is not just visually beautiful, it's personal, it has history. It's layered with identity, family, celebration, and with traditions that have been passed down over generations. These are not just clothes that people throw on because they look good or are festive. They carry meaning. They reflect those generations of craftsmanship and cultural pride, and when a brand pulls inspiration from that, the people behind it deserve recognition at the very least. They deserve true visibility and authorship. They also deserve to be a part of the story from the very beginning. To better understand that connection between culture and clothing, let's hear from one of the most influential contemporary South Asian fashion designers to date, Sabyasachi.
If I look at history is quite cyclical, and we had the age of influence, which is now going into the age of intelligence, and I think slowly and slowly the age of intelligence will be superseded by the age of wisdom. And luxury is never created with intelligence, it's always created with wisdom, and wisdom comes from deep sense of culture and history, provenance. And when these are the things that are going to become the guiding forces of luxury, demand and supply, when consumers are going to ask for change and they're going to ask for things which stand for community building, handcraft, provenance, authenticity, where else can you go apart from India? And the beautiful thing about India is that, it's a country where we have so much of our culture and so much of our art and craft is still alive because it's consumed daily. There's no tokenism for our culture within our country. And I think because of that, craft has been preserved. But India has always been wise. We have used our craft, and now it's payback time.
What Sabyasachi speaks to is that in South Asian fashion, culture is not treated like a costume or a trend. It is lived and consumed daily. It's part of how people celebrate, express themselves, preserve tradition, and carry their crafts forward and across generations. There is no tokenism in that, like you said. There's meaning, history, and a deep level of care that deserves to be recognized. It's especially important now. Public conversations have made it clear that people want more from fashion brands than cute, thankless pieces. They want representation and proper credit. They want to know that the people whose culture is being used for inspiration are actually part of the shaping of the work. For a brand like Opali, that creates an opportunity to not just launch something new, but to approach South Asian fashion with greater intention and accountability. So what's next? Opali is in the early stages of launching a South Asian clothing line featuring South Asian designers, models, and creatives, and we'll be sharing the stories of the people behind the creative process from start to finish. Because representation is not just about who wears the clothing, but about who gives it meaning. If storytelling in fashion is going to move forward, accountability cannot be an afterthought. It has to be built into the brand from the beginning, and this is our start. If you're a South Asian creative who wants to be a part of this conversation and be a part of the work, head to our website and send us a message. We want to hear from the people whose voices and perspectives deserve to be centered here. I'm Pree Nayak, and this has been Beyond the Garment with Opali. Thanks for listening.